Our guitar render layer is where we set up all our passes. So go ahead and take a look at those passes so you can see what each one looks like. Putting these passes back together in the correct way requires a specific order of operations. In the online Blender manual, the formula is very clearly illustrated, and it's easy to find by searching cycles passes. We're going to add our direct and indirect together, then multiply that result by the color. We'll use that same formula for both diffuse and glossy, and if we had transmission passes, that's exactly how those would combine as well. We'll then add the glossy combination to the diffuse combination, and we should be back to our original image. Let's go ahead and implement this in the compositor. First, let's spread the nodes out a bit so we have a little room to work. I'm doing that by just box selecting around the nodes I'd like to move and moving them. We're going to start by bringing in our old friend the Mix Color node by hitting Shift A. Instead of using this mix operation though, we'll set the blend mode to add. Plug in both the direct and the indirect, then Control Shift click to see the result. And we can flicker it on and off by pressing M with that node selected. Next, we can duplicate the add node and change the blend mode to multiply. Just like our illustration showed us, we'll plug the previous add result into socket 1 and the diffuse color into socket 2, multiplying them together. Shift Control click now to see our combined diffuse element. It looks good, exactly as expected. For a little organization, we can select these two mix nodes and press Ctrl J, and it'll create a frame around them. You can then label that frame. I'll call it Guitar, Diffuse, and give it its own distinct color. Maybe something like this. And now we can do the same thing for our glossy components. I'll box select the frame and the contained nodes, Shift D to duplicate, and bring it down below the diffuse ones. We can update the name to Guitar Glossy, change the color, and start plugging in our direct, indirect, and glossy color connections. Let's take a look at what that's doing. Here's the glossy direct, then with the addition of the indirect, and then with the multiply color dialing it into the correct intensities. We'll finish it off by adding them together with a new mix color node, set it to add, and plug in the results of the diffuse and the glossy. If we compare that by going back to the combined image right out of our render node, we can see they're identical. Let's replace the combined image going into our last alpha over with our new recombined output. Shift Control click that, and now we can see a problem. If we cycle through the passes we're using, you can see they're all surrounded by black pixels. None of them support the alpha channel. So when we plug it into the alpha over node, there is no alpha, so it just composites over the black pixels. Luckily, the render node by default always has the alpha embedded, so we can utilize that now. If we take a look at it, black is a value of 0 while white is a value of 1. That means everywhere that's black will be transparent, while everywhere that's white will let our image come through normally. If we plug that into the factor of the alpha over, we should get the result we're looking for. The white parts of the alpha channel will allow the guitar in socket 2 to be layered over. The black areas of the alpha will reveal the image going into socket 1. If we shift Control click, we can see everything is working now. And now that we've got everything split apart, we can tweak and adjust things individually however we want. For example, we can adjust the intensity of the reflection by simply turning the factor of the add node up to 2 to make it brighter, or down to 0.3 to make it darker. We could even do something like changing the color of the guitar. We know all the color information for the guitar is coming from the diffuse color pass, so try adding a hue correct node directly in line from the diffuse color. This node allows us to shift specific colors. Click on the H for hue, and since the guitar is currently blue, we'll only manipulate these handles in the blue ranges. We can now make the guitar any color we want, again, all without re-rendering from 3D. This is the kind of thing that really makes compositing powerful. Now we'll take a quick look at recombining those light groups we created.